Rainbow Six Siege. I had a good time playing that game. I've got it's one of my top games. Like I put around 500 hours into it, and it was pretty good. Like I started playing it. I think it was around 2018. I think Clash and Maverick came out at that season, and one of the main reasons I enjoyed it so much is just I had friends that played it. Like any game is better with friends. I will tell you this right now. And like the reason I got into it, like they had it, so they asked me, try it out, And we ended up playing it for a long time, which I'm surprised that we did, for as long as we did. And really, for the longest time, like how I played games, I just screwed around, and we just that's how we did it. We just screwed around, like we screw each other over so many times. Like the amount of like bans we've gotten for team killing just each other or anybody else in the game, like it's great. But I mean, we didn't do that in ranked, of course, but we did it plenty in casual, and it was just that was the point. It was casual. No one cared. But let's talk about the actual game. One of the main things I really liked about Siege was its consistency in its gameplay and content. Like the whole game, like throughout the entire time I played it, it was balanced. It was overall decently balanced. Most weapons, you never had like an overpowered weapon or operator. Well, maybe for like when they released an operator that overpowered for like a week, maybe if they did them right or did them wrong. Like, but other than that, everything was decently balanced. It was great. Maps. There's plenty of maps. You almost never got bored of them, and the rotation kept the game fresh. So you always felt like you were doing something different, and it was one of the better systems. And they kept new operators, at least one or two new operators every few months or so, which was, or I think it was a year. Did they do it by year? I have no idea. Every season, which was a few months. So, and that was one of the better things because like it kept you cut that part out for a second. And they got like one of my favorite features, which is the leaning. Leaning around corners. It's a small feature, but it's one of my favorite. Now, before I criticize Siege, I want to say like Siege is one of the it hasn't actually like fallen off. Like the quality, it's still at it's still at almost at the quality I when I first played it. Like it's still a very good game. I'm gonna criticize it a little bit just because I want to. Criticism is easier than praise, I'd say. But it is one of the better games that hasn't actually like fallen in quality nearly as much as some of the other games I've talked about. So I'll just start talking about the operators. Since Siege is a very it's supposed to be a serious realistic game, tactical shooter. And that's what it's felt like with the operators. They've all been had unique operators, and they've had they've all been generally realistic. They've kept up the image that Siege portrays. But now with these over the past I think it's a few years, the operators have gotten a little more stretched on that point. But since about most of the operators that have come after Zero have kind of stretched that statement there. Because in the beginning, you had cut that part. See, now most of the operators, all the operators, or most of them, up to the release of Zero are okay. Zero is okay too. They're all generally realistic, and they're pretty much they seem like they could be possible. Now I get it, it's a video game, whatever. They don't gotta be perfect, but Siege is supposed to be it's supposed to be have realism, and some of these operators just I don't see it. But this is just my opinion, I'm not saying all the new operators Flores, the bomb drone, and Osa with their shield. Those are all fine. Thunderbird, that's a little stretch, but it's all right. Sens, that it's just a smoke wall. They pretty much just stole him straight from Valorant, but that doesn't matter. And even Brave with her, or Bravo, sorry, with her new drone, and even the newest guy, Ram, that seems probable. But Aruni with her laser gate, with that, I don't think so. Or Thorn with her grenade, that's it. Thorn is not. It isn't bad, but it's just not. It's not that. Grim, even Fenrir, yeah, no. And like a zombie, no, not even like it's just. It's not even close. And just Solus, really? That's literally just IQ on defense. Like, you could have thought of something different. And they all look like, all the new operators, they look like they're too colorful. Like, what I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of them, all the operators, like the first few years, they're like black. Like, they're all clean cut. There's not like nothing special about their outfits. They're just like, they're operators. They're not supposed to have like outfits that stand out. Like a lot of the new operators, they have like I don't know. They're just
as a frostbite.
they look too like, for example, Azami in her suit. Really, that is not like most of the like generally the operators had like tactical gear on. Like this is just kind of that. This is a stupid point, but it's just something that made me mad when I first came back to Siege here lately. It was just, I don't know, it's just kind of stupid. And I do get it. Like, they've been doing this for years, and it's hard to come up with new operators and like new abilities and stuff like that. But and that's fine. But you can't just like, this isn't Overwatch. You can't just like make a random character and throw them into the game, and it's just gonna work. Like they gotta think. It's gotta fit the Siege's look, its feel, its realism. And what's with the new agencies? Like, I don't even know what they're called. Wolfguard and the Red Hammer. Like, what's with that? That's just, they used to be from actual military, like the Spetsnaz, SAS, FBI. Like, they're from actual organizations, or they were like mercenaries or some sort. Like, that's a stupid change. I don't know. They could have gotten like some backfire from something, because using the actual agencies, but I don't know. That's on them. That's enough for the operators. I don't want to be here all day talking about them. So we'll talk. I guess we can talk about the quality of life, which hasn't. It's cut it. You know, remember when like the game was like the servers weren't that good. The servers were terrible for a long time. You could just get like, remember when you sit in a lobby for like 20 minutes while one person tried to load in, and the server, and it was just, I mean, that hasn't happened for a while, but it was, so they did fix it eventually, but it's just kind of, I guess I don't really have any complaints about the quality of life. It's just, cause they've generally kept up with it. But I do have one complaint about ranked. Okay, I'm fine with two-factor. I've had my two-factor verified or whatever with Siege for a long time, but I can't play ranked because my phone will not work with Siege. Like, I cannot link it to my account. I don't know if it's my provider or what, but it just doesn't work, and I can't play ranked. And I would go back to Siege, but I want to play ranked, and there's no point to Siege other than, for me, I want to play ranked, and if I can't, there's just no point. But other than all that, Siege has been a good game since it released, and I do suggest you check it out. And so yeah, have a good one.